this is the second part of 1.3 notes. So look at this one here. What makes this one a little more difficult? We have two fractions, don't we? So when we multiply two fractions, what are we going to multiply everything by? 20. Does everybody see I got 20? So I got to multiply everything by 5 times 4, which is 20. Okay? So I'm going to multiply this by 20, this by 20, this by 20, and this by 20. So, does everybody remember how to multiply 20 times 1/5? I can take 20 times 1 and then divide by 5, right? Or I could take 20 divided by 5 and then multiply by 1. So what's 20 divided by 5? 4 times 1, 4. Everybody see how I do that in my head? The reason why I don't take 20 times 1 is, I could either way, it works. So I get 4. And then 20 times 5 is 100. Then 20, what's 20 times a fourth? 5. What's 20 divided by 4? 5, right? And then 20 times 2 gives me 40. Okay, so we can distribute here. So it gives me 4D plus 8 plus 100. I can distribute here, which gives me 10 minus 5D plus 40. Can I do any simplifying? Trent, can I combine any like terms on the left side?
Yeah.
What can I combine?
800.
What does that give me?
108.
100 what?
8.
There you go. Thank you. And then what can I combine on the right side? 10 and 40, right? What does that give me? 50. Okay, now we're ready to solve, aren't we? All we've done so far is simplify. Agreed? So I'm going to add 5D over here and add 5D over here. So I get 9D plus 108 equals, those cancel, equals 50. Everybody see where I'm at? Now I need to do what to the 108? How do I get, Liam, how do I get 108 to the other side? Subtract, because it's a plus. Very good. You learned something today, didn't you? Yeah. Nice job. So that gives me 9D equals, those cancel. What's 50 minus 108? Negative 58. Thank you. And I divide by 9. What do you get?
Negative 6.4 repeating.
Okay, we get negative 6.4 repeating, so we got, is negative 58. See, hit math, is it reduced already? Is negative 58 over 9 reduced? Yeah, I don't think we can do any more with it. So there's your answer. Because it won't reduce, and if you do it with your calculator, you get a repeating decimal, don't you? Everybody see that? Do it on your calculator? We okay? Big tournament in Chicago this weekend?
No, I'm behind St. Louis.
You're going to St. Louis. Well, good luck, all right? Tighten what's loose and loosen what's tight. All right? Is it getting any easier? I can't tell. Kind of? Okay. Now look at number 2 here. What could I do? What's this negative out front of the parentheses do to everything? Yeah.
It turns everything to the opposite of what it is.
Yeah, it changes all the signs. It's like distributing a negative 1 towards everything. So that's going to make that over here negative 27 plus t, isn't it? Correct? Now this one here is going to have some funny things happen, so you need to watch. Okay, so I think we've got everything simplified, don't we? So let's get our t's on the one side. So I'm going to subtract. And what do you notice that happens? They all cancel out, don't they? And we end up with this. Now, is that a true or false statement?
False.
You're telling me negative 27 does not equal negative 27. That is a true statement, isn't it? Remember the one we did earlier was not a true statement. It was false and it was no solution. This one here is a true statement and it's infinite solutions. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this one here. We can distribute. What's 16 times 4? 64. 16 times negative 3 would be negative 48. Now somebody said, well, why didn't you multiply by a fraction here? Because this is inside the parentheses. Okay, I did. Now, if it's outside the parentheses, that's when you want to multiply, okay? Get rid of the fractions. So can anybody tell me when I do that, that gives me negative 96 divided by 2, which is negative 48n. And 96 times 1 is 96. Everybody see what I did there? Now, I add 48 to both sides because I want to get all my m's on the left side. Cancel, 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 cancel. And now I have 64 equals 96. Is that a true statement? No, that's a false statement, isn't it? So this one here is no solution. So two things are going to happen when all the variables cancel. If it's a false statement, no solution. If it's a true statement, then it's infinite solutions. Does that make sense? Okay. So you get one solution when you have a variable that doesn't cancel out. No solution when the variables cancel out and you get a false statement. When the variables cancel out and you get a true statement, then it's infinite solutions. So like the example I do on the one that's false, if I subtract 2x, I end up with 1, does 1 equal 3? That's a false statement, so that would be no solutions. This one here, I want to go ahead and distribute the 1/2 because I know 1/2 goes evenly into those numbers. Does that make sense? So that gives me 2x plus 1. And when I subtract 2x, now I get 1 equals 1, right? Which is a true statement, which means it's infinite solutions. Does that make sense? Turn the page. Okay, so Cameron pays 95, so like me, I hear something on the radio I like, I do something where it picks up the song right, tells me what it is, and I download it on YouTube, or on what is it, iTunes, correct? Apple Tunes, and now it's $1.29, it used to be 99 cents, correct? So I download it. But there's a new music download where you can do it 89 cents with $12 joining fee, correct? Should Cameron switch to the new service? So I'm going to let X be song I download. So this first one says, Cameron pays 95 cents per song with his current plan, right? A new music download service. So this is his old one, or current one, right? And a new service, new download service for him is 89 cents a download with a $12 joining fee, correct? Should Cameron switch to the new service? Okay, let's find out whether they're equal, correct? Right? So, set them equal to each other. So what do I need to do here to get x's by self? I can't combine anything, so I'm going to subtract. Does everybody agree with me? I'm going to subtract 89x from both sides. Cancel, cancel. What does that leave me? 0.06x equals 12. Okay? Now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.06. And what do you get when you do that?
200.
200. So 200 downloads. Now, if he again does less than 200, correct? That's probably a better deal, isn't it? Correct? But if he does more than 200, he wants to do the other one. It's like that other example I did, correct? And 200 downloads are equal. So it doesn't matter which service. But if he goes more than 200, he wants to use the one that's 89 cents per song, doesn't he? Even though he's got $12 up front, when they get to 200 downloads, they're equal. But after that, this one here's the better service, isn't it? Because what's the cost per song? 89 cents. Okay? Okay. That's it. So that's it for